Hi crypto fans, welcome to CCS Cryptocurrency State. My name is Santiago, I'm a web developer and investor, and in today's video I'm going to review the updates of SundaeSwap that they released yesterday, 1st of June. Like you know, they postponed the ICO of May 25 and they promised updates to the community yesterday, 1st of June. And like they promised, they delivered three types of updates. The first is that they released the complete information about the team. This was a very big interrogation for the community before. The second stuff is that they delivered the first white paper, which I think is very good. And the third stuff is that they talk about the ICO status. So we are going to review all that in today's video, and I will give you my honest opinion about the project and these updates and what I plan to do regarding the project. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get the notifications. And remember to subscribe to the giveaway, half of a Bitcoin to one winner and 1 Ethereum and 5 Ethereum to 5 different winners. Without anything else, let's go into it. Hey guys, well, just a couple of hours ago in the middle of the day, the SundaeSwap team updated and make notice the community from Twitter that they have the rest of the team, the first white paper, as well as roadmap and the future of the ISO that they postponed from 25 of May. So going to the website, we have the links here to both of things. So I will be starting with a white paper review. This is, for me, it's a light paper, not a white paper. But anyways, there's 12 pages here. Of course, I read everything in detail. I always read all the white papers, doesn't matter how many pages they have. I am very interested in all the technology stuff, so this is fun for me. In this white paper, right now they explain the background, what the centralized exchanges are. They also talk about the technology or what protocol they are going to use, which is AMM, which is the same for Uniswap and PancakeSwap, which is the automate market maker. The centralized exchange are running in this protocol and this model. They explain a little bit about that with another examples on how the decentralized exchange will work and how the liquidity pools work also for the decentralized exchanges. So this is very general. I saw this information in another places. I mean, this could be a copy paste and it will be okay. Then they talk about the implementation on the Cardano blockchain, how the Cardano blockchain it will work and how is that related to the decentralized exchange functionality. From page 9 they start mention the planning for the upgrades for the Sundae the decentralized exchange. So before here they explain how the SundaeSwap it will work, has a little difference between another decentralized exchange, but basically they use the same technology. I think this part 4 is very, very good, which explains how they plan to make the upgrades into the protocol or the model, because when they launch and they have all the tokens already mint, if they change the protocol or the model, it will be like waiting for Ethereum 2.0 right now. So basically you need to plan that very well from the start. They talk a little bit about that, not too much. And one thing that I see here is that in the future work on the next releases of future white papers that they are going to release, they say 1 per month. They are going to talk about the role of the Sundae token. So in this white paper we don't know anything about the token. And that was a surprise for me, because usually you need to talk about the economics of the token on your white papers and how that will work in terms of providing liquidity or the max supply they plan to release, etc. There's a lot of information that they don't release yet. So that was sad for me. I was waiting that information. and then they have a conclusion and some reference from where they took the information for the white paper. So not much surprise here. In fact, I was expecting more for this white paper, very general. If you are not familiar with technical language of how the centralized exchange work, could be a little difficult to read, but if you are in the crypto space at least for 1-2 years, you probably will understand well this. But it's not a must that you need to read right now. The best information is not here yet. Well, roadmap first. They published a white paper, education campaign, marketing campaign, tokenomics finalized. I don't know why they mentioned that and what it means actually. In Q3, they plan to audit the results, launch on Cardano blockchain, bug bounty program, so they are planning to test everything there. Initial stake pool offering, token distribution, so all that it will be to Q3. Q4 limit orders, direct swaps, and Q1 of 2021 extra toppings. Okay. This roadmap for me is very short. I would like to know a little more about each of these topics. But anyways, look here how in Q3 is the launch on Cardano blockchain, but many things that I think should be before that are not released or not commented yet. So I think, and this is not only for this project, all the Cardano decentralized exchange projects have a little time to get the product launched for August. So we only have 3 months, or if Cardano doesn't delay the launch, and I don't think so. So they don't have too much for all the development and stuff that they want. Probably they will be in problems to accomplish all these topics here on Q2 and Q3. But anyways, that's the roadmap. Going into the team, you can see here how they release the core team of the developers, co-founders, and advisor. Only 8 people here, but anyways, I will go one by one now. Before we continue with the video, remember that I am doing an amazing giveaway. I will be giving half of a Bitcoin to one winner and 5 Ethereum to 5 different winners. If you want to participate, it's super easy, just a couple of clicks. Follow the link in the description. But remember that you need to be subscribed to the channel with the bell on to be considered. The first thing that bothered me a little bit is that they have the business title here, which ones are the co-founders, but for the rest of the team, you don't have exactly which part of the business they are. You know after reviewing each of them what they probably are doing in the company, but I would like to have the business title also for each of them. But let's review each of them. The first one is Artem Wright. Sorry if I might mispronounce any of the names. He's a student at Boston University. He's studying business analytics with concentration in finance, which is okay. Going into experience, co-founder of SundaeSwap. This is something that I like, that all of them should have the SundaeSwap project as the first thing that they are working right now. That gives me confidence if I want to invest in this company. That's what I am expecting. Then he have an intern in investment banking just for a couple of months, 4 months in 2020, and nothing more. So he probably is very young. I think probably in the early 20s, and doesn't have any other experience right now. I don't say that's bad. He could be the next Mark Zuckerberg. I really don't know, but it's not something that I like to see in the co-founder of the project that I will be investing. I want to see experience on the market and of course in the technology market. But anyways, this is one of the co-founders. Moving to the next one, Matin. Well, he says here that works in human physics research, Harvard. So if you look at the experience, From May 21 to the present day, he is a researcher fellow in Harvard Medical School. He also put here, which is the founder of SundaeSwap, and that's rare because if you already have a co-founder, he should put here co-founder and not founder. Cannot be a co-founder and a founder. We have one founder or two or more co-founders. So I think that should be corrected if it's the case. He also have the research assistant on a diabetes center, also co-founder at Circle part-time. Look how each of them, he started to work here in May 2020 and is working until present date. The same here as a research assistant, the same as SundaeSwap, and the same here as a researcher. And another company that he's co-founder, Chronic Illness Education and Prevention Association, working also full-time from November 2020 until present day. So most of his experience is on the medical research, in the medical niche. So I don't know if he's really into technology. Looking the CV doesn't look like that to me. I didn't enter into these two companies to research, but anyways, I don't like that he's active in all these projects. I mean, he's mostly active in the health medical school, probably studying, doing research as an assistant here, also founder of another two companies that I don't know the status of those companies. And now he also founder of SundaeSwap from April. So I don't really know how much time he can dedicate to that, to the company. So that is not something that I like to see in a co-founder for a project that I want to invest. Passing to this guy, P. Lanningham. Well, he's the senior software engineer located in New York. I like very much his experience as a leader developer at SundaeSwap. So this could be here on the team. I don't know why they don't put that lead developer here. That would be nice. Before that, he had a lot of experience on a lot of software companies as developer. Also working as a lead team with 20 developers, creating some very nice software. I review all that information about his. And he also has a very, very good GitHub account with 77 repositories. I am a developer too. I have 33 years old and I am coding from my 13 years. So I have 20 years of experience, and I know when I see a GitHub account if he has experience or not. I review many of these projects because I understand the code and if it's good or not. Many of the repositories are private obviously, so you cannot review it, but anything that I saw here is very good. So I think this is a very good member of the team. Moving into another, this is Matt Ho, Chief Technical Officer at Loyal3. I don't know this guy, of course, this is the first time that I saw him, but I did some research. First, that the last thing that you can see in the resume is that he worked here from 2009 to 2015. So we are missing 6 years of his experience, so we don't know the last 6 years what he has been doing. And that's not something that I want to see in a LinkedIn account when I review the information about him. So that's not a good point for me. But anyways, if I take that out from consideration, he has a lot of experience in many companies. I don't like too much the experience of the last job from 6 years. He says that was the CTO. I look into the company. The company was in San Francisco located, and basically was kind of an exchange for stocks and other things with a pretty good technological idea. But right now they are not active. If I go to the website, you are basically redirect to here. Let me load that again. So basically there's no website already. You are redirect to this URL, which is a secure URL. This company is already closed. They closed in 2017. They had a funding raising of 50 million and they worked like 6 or 7 years. Was founded in 2008 and closed in 2017. I found a lot of news about the company, talking about the company, the rise and fall of Loyal 3, brokerage. There are some rare things about how this company closed. You can see here 2017, Loyal 3 shut down. Another here, the death of Loyal 3. And I read already all this news and there was some rare things about this company. So I don't like too much that. So for this guide, I recommend you to how to update your LinkedIn account with further information. You have 6 years missed here and this is not too loyal. So let's see what happened here. The next one is Miklos Subches. Sorry if I don't pronounce that well. He's a developer. He has a lot of experience from more than 10 years. The only thing here is that he's a technical consultant, self-employed, so basically he works freelance. He's from Hungary. And from August 2015 to the present day, he has been working as a freelance developer. But I don't see any mention here to SundaeSwap project. That's something that I would like to put what project he has been working on these 5 years, because if not, it's not too much information what we have. The good thing for him is that I look into the repository also. He has 38 repositories shared with a lot of information and many proofs or projects that he has been building, or even if he didn't build them, the repository is very, very nice. Then Jason Lewis, another software developer with a very good experience. I don't see here the SundaeSwap. Actually, from 2020 to the present day, he works at Applied Systems. So I would like to see here SundaeSwap instead of this company, because that will give me more confidence. His GitHub repository, he has the logo of SundaeSwap, that's good. And he has only 8 repositories or public, and I didn't saw much thing here, so it's a little poor. The other guy is Mark on the team. Going to the team, he's Mark Hansen, doesn't have any LinkedIn here and I didn't found it. He only have the repository, which only have 5 repositories, very easy, or he has nothing complex here, very basic stuff of coding, so doesn't like that, and I would like to see his LinkedIn account with all his experience. And here we have Christopher Borders, he's an advisor. He has a lot of experience. He's the founder of his own love company group. So basically this company gives advice to startups, most in the technology niche. So I think it's a good guy to have as an advisor. And the company is legit. It's a small company, it's not too big company, but anyways, the website is very cool, very professional. And of course, like I say, he's the founder of this company. So that is the team. Stay tuned, because I will give you an Excel file that I do when I do research of the project, so you will see my points on all these new updates. And last but not least, guys, the ISO update June 1st. So this is what they put about the different updates. It's a really small text here, and they basically doesn't say anything, guys, about the ISO. Basically, we don't know when will be. So the most important thing is here. So as for the exact timing of the ISO, this is a tricky question to answer, as with all things involving new innovations and unset legal issues. Being on the bleeding edge has its drawbacks. The lack of regulatory clarity has not changed since the decision of delay the ISO, and it would be unfair to us to make future predictions until we have a clearly regulatory path. We will continue to provide regular updates each month going forward. One of the first updates will be a policy paper, sometimes known as a green paper, that explores the options we see for the upcoming regulatory landscape. So basically, the ISO still is not available. We don't know how we are going to have their tokens. So that's it for that. We will just need to wait. We don't have any new information. So I think that was not good from their side, because they told that 1st of June we will have information about the ISO, and basically the information is that we don't have any information. So I don't like this, guys. Going to my report, like always when I do a project review, this is my resume, my summary for that. So today the SundaeSwap team updated this information, 3 things: the team, the white paper, the ICO update dates. So in this, we don't have new dates, new updates. We don't have anything information about the token. The white paper, not much comments until page 8 is a basic about Cardano blockchain and the decentralized exchange on how they work. Then there are 3 pages on how SundaeSwap will work on Cardano, automated market maker. No data, what is the use of the token in the decentralized exchange. That was very negative for me to read. And this is my my summary for the team. Basically, some of them we don't know which is his business title. I just put what I think they are. So for the co-founders, it's not too good for me. 4 or 5 from 1 point to 10 points. The first one, Artem, I think is too young, no experience, still a student. Remember, this is only my opinion. You could have a different opinion. He could be, like I said, the next Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know. I actually don't care. I have money right now that I want to invest in immersion projects and an immersion decentralized exchange project. I will put the money where I convince that they have the more chance to grow. So for the founders or co-founders, I need people with a lot of experience, and neither of them have this experience. Regarding my team, his LinkedIn is too divided in tech and medicine at the present date, and he has 5 things working on present date. How can dedicate full time to SundaeSwap? So and that's why it's a 5 for me. The lead developer, P. Langingham, I think is the best acquisition of the company right now. Probably much of the good stuff that is happening right now in SundaeSwap is because of this guy, I am pretty sure. He has excellent tech experience and LinkedIn info and amazing GitHub. Matt Ho, I don't know if he's the CTO here. I probably think that Pai is the lead developer and CTO right now, so I don't exactly know what is the business title for Matt Ho. But anyway, he has a lot of experience, but no data from 2015, so that's very bad for me. His last company broke in rare situation, and he doesn't have SundaeSwap in the LinkedIn, so that's why it's a 6, a yellow number for me. Michael Oss, he's very good tech experience, and LinkedIn info is okay, but needs to tell more about his experience as a freelancer from the last 6 years. Also, no signs of working on the project, so I would like that he put that he works in SundaeSwap. And he has a very good, amazing GitHub account. Jason Lewis, software developer, solid tech experience, no signs of working in Sundae in LinkedIn, and has a poor GitHub account. Mark Hansen, no LinkedIn. I didn't find him in any place, and he has a poor GitHub account also. So not much information about him. So the average of all my points for this. Oh, and Christopher Borders, I think he's a very good advisor. I don't know how he will imply into the company, what he really are going to do into the company, but he's a very solid advisor. So the total amount, the average amount of points is 6.1, which is like the limit. If it's below 6, it's not something that I will consider invest. But anyways, summarizing everything, this is my last video about SundaeSwap, guys. So if you want to know more about this project and more information, please follow them in Twitter and in the social media, because probably I will not do any more videos about this project. I'm not going to invest in this project, in their tokens, even if they have more clarity. I think there's not too much time, and I think, for example, Cardano is a better option right now. They already distribute their tokens and they are growing with more concise information. At least I have some yellow and red flags on that project too, but at least I think they're a more solid project right now. And I did another reviews of another decentralized exchange for Cardano, but there's really no one that I could say this will be the winner, guys. So I am still continue doing that research. I probably will do some summary video on a couple of projects, but not dedicate a full video to a specific project, because I didn't saw any really good project for the Cardano decentralized exchange yet. So if you have information about that, if you have any decentralized exchange based on Cardano blockchain, please comment below. I will be researching those data that you put. That's it for this video. Remember to like to the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get the notifications. Remember, when you click the bell, to put all, so you get my notifications and you can see all my videos. And that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.